When an aircraft lines up on the runway and lowers its flaps more than usual, it's not a mistake. It's a calculated move for maximum lift. Flaps change the shape of a wing, adding curvature and surface area. This allows the plane to generate more lift at lower speeds, which is especially helpful when runway length is short, the plane is heavy, or the air is thin, like at high-altitude airports or in hot weather. More flap means earlier liftoff, a steeper climb angle, and reduced risk of runway overrun. It's also about safety. Pilots must set the flap position as part of pre-takeoff checks. But history has shown that forgetting flaps can be deadly. The Delta 727 crash in Dallas and a NASA-documented 737-800 stall both stemmed from flaps being left retracted. These events led to stricter checklist discipline, with challenge and response verification now standard in cockpits. So, flaps aren't always maxed out. Full extension actually adds quite a bit of drag, which isn't ideal for fuel efficiency or climb performance. That's exactly why on most takeoffs, pilots use intermediate settings, just enough to help, but not so much that it slows you down. Used the right way, flaps help aircraft leap into the sky with less runway, more control, and honestly, a much safer start. Lowering flaps during takeoff is a crucial aspect of aircraft operation, and, it's essential to understand why it's done and what actually happens if it's not. So, why do planes lower their flaps during takeoff? Well, first off, flaps help increase the wing's lift coefficient, which means the aircraft can take off at a slower speed and cover a shorter distance. Plus, flaps also enhance the aircraft's controllability during takeoff, making it easier to handle and, just generally more stable. Now, what happens if planes don't lower their flaps? Without flaps, the aircraft actually needs a much longer runway to take off, which can definitely be a problem on shorter runways. There's also reduced controllability, making the aircraft more difficult to handle during takeoff. And honestly, neglecting to lower flaps can increase the risk of accidents, especially during takeoff. So, let's look at some examples of incidents involving problems with airplane flaps. In 2010, Air India Express Flight 812 crashed while landing at Mangalore International Airport, sadly killing 158 people. The investigation revealed that the pilots failed to extend the flaps to the recommended setting, which, led to a loss of control. Turkish Airlines Flight 1951, back in 2009, crashed into a field while approaching Amsterdam's Schiphol Airport, resulting in the deaths of 9 people. The investigation showed that the pilots didn't extend the flaps to the correct setting, and this caused a loss of lift. Then, there was Delta Airlines Flight 2412 in 2012. The aircraft had to make an emergency landing after the pilots discovered a problem with the flaps. The investigation found that a faulty sensor had caused the flaps to malfunction. These incidents really highlight the importance of proper flap extension during takeoff and landing. Failure to follow standard operating procedures can, unfortunately, have catastrophic consequences.